Here we go.
Welcome to the first episode of Wealth Is Gangsta. Proud to do this with my family. You know what I'm saying? We're breaking ground right now. How you doing today, fam? Let the people know who you are.
I'm good. My name's Trymaine Kelley. I'm a father, entrepreneur, business owner. I'm from Temple, Texas. Currently in the military, serving in the United States Air Force. And that's a little bit about me.
Where are you located at now?
Right now, I'm in Turkey, overseas in Turkey. So been here for a little bit, and then after here, I'm going to be moving to Japan.
Japan.
Yeah. So
how long you think you be before you get back to the States? It's going to be a while?
Hopefully it will be.
Are you trying to stay away, huh?
I am. I'm trying to stay overseas, man. It's the lifestyle is just so different and so good for me and my family. It just fits us perfectly, and I don't have to deal with a lot of stuff that's going on right now. So I love it.
Okay, well, let the people know Wealth Is Gangsta. It's an educational program. We're going to be talking about all kind of things from building wealth from the standpoint of stocks, bonds, real estate, just business ownership, mindset, nation building, all that wrapped up into one. And I got my fam on here today because we've been going back and forth for some years now. And he's into the financial part. He's a financial educator, and he's into the stock market. And you know, he's finding his way. We both trying to build our portfolios up and find our way through this marketplace. But this is the first episode because, like I told him before we got on camera, he the one used to push me to get on camera. So now that I'm on camera, it was only right that I bring him in first to talk about building wealth and what his mindset and what he think about wealth. All right, fam. So let's tell people about what you do, your business you into, you know, like the financial educating part. What part of financial education are you structured in? Just let people know a little bit about that part.
Well, mostly what I do right now is stocks. Since I'm overseas, that's the easiest thing for me to do. But I tell people all the time that investing is not just stocks. You know, it's not just one part of it. You can invest in so many different things. T-shirt businesses, you know, the barbershop like you know, a whole bunch of different stuff you can do. Investing is not just something that has to do with the stock market. It's just a term that's used to multiply your money. So once people start getting that understood, then they'll start looking at it differently. So yeah, so that's what I try to do is try to educate people about that it's not only the stock market that you're doing, and what you're really trying to do is just multiply your money.
That's it. That's just from the basics of just hustle, just dope, just something low and sell it high, or you know, get a stock low and hope it shoot up. You know what I'm saying? Or wait over time, and stocks are guaranteed, not guaranteed, but close to guaranteed to shoot up over time, depending on your long term or investor. What really got you into the stock market? Was it a book you read, or you just randomly met somebody? Like, what got you into the market?
Well, this is a story for you right here. What got me into investing in finance stuff is like I said, I was born in Temple, you know, born and raised in Temple, Texas. And like coming up, you know, I didn't really see, you know, a lot of things. So what I saw is, you know, people going to work, coming home, and that was their life. So I figured that was going to be my life too. It wasn't really until I got away from Temple that I started seeing people doing different things, you know. So when I saw people getting money and doing, you know, living somewhat of a high life, you know, I'm like, why can't I do that? Like, what's different about them that, you know, that they have or that they learn that I don't know? And how can I go figure that out, right? So I started reading books. I started reading articles online. I started looking at stocks. I started studying Warren Buffett. I started studying everything I can get my hands on about Grant Cardone, a whole bunch of different people to find out how to build wealth and how to get this knowledge that all these people had that I didn't, and what I could do to get to that level, right? So once I started doing it, I started, you know, doing a little bit, getting a little bit of traction, you know, building my stuff up, and I was happy with it. And then, you know, I would tell other people about it, and it would surprise me that other people didn't know about it either. So my main goal at first was to get really Black people to invest, because that's the group that I found was the most unknowledgeable when it came to investing and multiplying money. was Black people. So that's where I started. And then as that continued, it branched out, and I found out that it's not just Black people. You know, there's white people, there's Asian people, there's Hispanic people, there's people of all different races, colors, and creeds that don't know about investing and how to multiply their money. So my thing became like, if we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world and have all this stuff, like why is so many people not previewed to this knowledge, right? So why is not everybody getting the fair treatment or the same playing field to start out with? Everybody's kind of disadvantaged. So that's kind of how I got started, and kind of why I do things I do, to try to help people understand that no matter where you come from, how much money you have, you can invest and you can multiply your money and get to where you want to be. You just got to have a plan. You got to stick to that plan, and you got to make it work. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, discipline. I was just talking about that last night on an episode I did, how to build wealth off your 9 to 5. Like, people don't think you got to have a bunch of money. It's really the mindset. Like you said, mindset starts with everything.
Yeah.
So once you get the mindset, the money that you think you need, it'll start just coming to you because your mind is thinking about it now.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with people doing a 9 to 5 and also building wealth, because you can do both. If you like you said, it's a mindset. So if you have a mindset to hustle and to make something work, you can do it. Because like I said, I'm in the military, and I'm still doing stuff outside the military to get to where I want to be later in life. So it's not about if you have a job, you can only do one or the other. You just got to apply yourself, use your time wisely, and get to where you want to be.
And that's why the knowledge is important, because people, they think they call it 1% club, but really it could be a lot more people, just only 1% disciplined and focused enough to stick to it.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I was talking about the other day that I know some millionaires with jobs. They just over the years bought assets, they bought stocks, they bought different things with their job, and they just built up, accumulated over time. So you don't have to be sports athlete or entrepreneur. You can work, but if you do the right things with your check, you can still build wealth.
Yeah, so that's right.
So let me tell me about your book. I know you got a book right now that you're selling. Tell people a little bit about the book and where they can get it at.
Yeah, so my book is called The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and it's on Amazon. If you look it up, by Trymaine Kelley. It's only 99 cents right now, so go check that out. And it's about basically helping beginners invest in the stock market. So it tells a little bit of my story about how I got invested with the stock market and how I came about with it. And then it goes into some principles that people can use when they start investing. Because a lot of people think that when you get in the stock market, you got to go with Apple or Google or whatever the case may be. And that's not necessarily the best way to play it, the stock market at all, actually. So, and then also people fall into the traps of mutual funds. They think, the big brokers like, hey, if you put your money with me, I'll beat the market and I'll get you so much, this, that, and the third. But in reality, is 96% of mutual funds don't even beat the market over a 10-year span. So when people start getting that knowledge and know how to move and put their money in the smart places, then they'll figure out how they can multiply their money a lot faster than falling into the traps, so to speak, the financial traps of Wall Street.
Yeah. And that, I was telling, because right now it's a little fad with all the stocks that's going on. So social media got just people that never invested in life throwing money and stuff. And then when it pulls back and they lose, they be sick and mad and stuff. But you got to know that, like I was telling about the AMC, one of my mentors was giving us that game at $2 last summer. Like you got to study and know it then. Don't try to jump on when it's hot. Warren Buffett always say, I go away from it when everybody run into it, and I run to it when everybody run away from it. Like, and that's a lot of people losing money right now. They're mad because they jumped in when it was too late. Did it burst?
And I actually live by that Warren Buffett quote. It's be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. So when he sold all his stocks in airlines, that's when I bought in. Like when he sold all his stuff, it dipped, and I bought in hard, like buying everything I could, and then it went back up. So he kind of lost money on that. But I made a good little chunk, because he was fearful at that time.
Just knowing the flows of it. You don't just jump in because somebody posted on Facebook or you see it going up for 2 days and you just go blindly throw money in, but you don't know nothing about the dip. You don't know nothing about you study the news to know what's really happening, why it's shooting up or why it's going down. You got all these are elements of trying to play the stock market, but people just do it fast, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes. So, okay. Another thing I was wondering, because I know you, how many years would you say that you done spent overseas since you've been in the military of your life? I know, because I mean, since when you left college, you've pretty much been gone, pretty much. Huh?
Yeah, let me see, 4, 8. It's 9 years now. I've been overseas. Yeah,
I figured it. Yeah. So, what would you say overseas and then American when it comes to like finances, money management, investing, business? What would do you see a difference in between? I mean, I know you can't paint everybody with a broad brush, but overall, do you see a mentality difference or a movement difference when it comes to financial stuff?
Yeah, I do for sure. So like people overseas, it seemed like they want to retire and they put it in their kids' minds early. Like, this is what you need to do to get to where you need to be. Like, okay, you're not just gonna work a job for 40 years and then have to get another job. There's no Social Security and stuff that helps them with all this other stuff. So they gotta
They
save.
don't have Social Security and stuff like that over there?
Nah, they don't have stuff like that.
You gotta build your own wealth for real. Huh?
Yeah. So but it's different, different countries I've been to, right?
Yeah. But where I got you.
Like in Kuwait, they actually take care of their people. So when I say take care of the people, it's somewhat. They'll give you a good start, right? So when you turn 18, they give you a plot of land, and they give you money to build a house for you and your family.
What? Just the country? The country do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Man, that's
and
cool.
and they give them a stipend to like pay their bills, right? So basically, they help you live, but everything else outside of basic living necessities, you got to get on your own. So if you want a car, you better go get a job. If you want to go to the mall or movies or whatever, you better have a job, pay for all that. So they help the people out with that, but all the extra stuff, because Kuwait's an oil-rich country, so they got money like that. But Turkey, not so much, and definitely not the United States, which is another thing that people. It's crazy. People like, the United States is a democracy and we don't want to be socialized, right? We don't want to be socialism and all this and that, but people living off Social Security like it's nothing. You try to take that away, people go crazy. But they don't realize that that's a socialist, program.
I think some of them do. It's just a mental thing. It's just a mental play. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
Yeah, but that's nigga. That's what I wonder, because I figured over there, so you would say they better with money management and building family wealth over there overall, or what you see?
Oh yeah. They're
more of a standard. You have to do these type of things,
right? And they're more cognizant of what they do with their money. So us in the States, if we want a new car or whatever, it could be a family of 3 and we go buy a Suburban. Not these cats over here. These guys, they'll get a freaking Prius. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And be good with a family of 5 in a Prius. Hey,
chilling,
saving money on gas, saving money on car note, saving money on insurance, saving all that. Where we over here splurging stuff that we could be saving.
Yeah, just the way you really build. Like we spend. It's not. I can tell people all the time. There's nothing wrong with spending once you really have it.
Yeah.
The problem is we spend it when we don't even have it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
If you build it up and you put yourself in positions, and a lot of the rich people that a lot of people mimic after or follow, they don't realize that the richer they get, the less they spend. People give those things to them. So you spending all your money to look like them, but they getting it free. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's not even, you shouldn't even be following somebody. You just put yourself in that position and you'll be able to get it free.
And then there's also people who are not rich, who act like they're rich, and people try to follow. So
yeah, that's a bunch of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you just look rich. You know what I'm saying? So everybody like, forget it, I'm gonna look rich too.
Yep.
That's what's up. Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, that's one of the questions I knew I had to ask you about the mindset. I haven't been overseas yet. I just bought a piece of land in Africa, so I'll be going probably this year to go check it out. But I feel the people that I converse with just through Zoom calls, it's just like business and taking care of your, it's like do for self and building your own things, just like their mindset. I never hear them talk about the government this, or I need this, or this and that. It's just about this business or that, and we need to transport this from America. So I picked up and I said, I'm gonna ask Kimfo, do he pick up on the same thing about just the spirit people just building for themselves?
Yeah, for sure they do.
All right, what I had to ask you about the market since you're a market guy. You know, like we touched on it a few seconds ago. What you think about the market, the ups and downs, the new people I've been seeing inside the group? People have been questioning you, asking you stuff.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
don't know what so what do you think? Is it a fad or people really becoming investors now? What you say about all this craze the last couple of weeks?
I think it's both. People are trying to become invested now because it's popular, right? But they're not doing it right, in my opinion. They're trying to follow the trendy stuff that's happening, but they don't realize that it's already too late.
It's too late. That's what I'm telling people.
When GameStop is at $300 a share, you don't come saying like, "Hey, can I put in? Should I put in money in GameStop? Is it gonna go higher?"
It's too late.
Yeah.
You missed it. That's the next one.
When
they say, did you touch GameStop? I said, no, I had some AMC because my mentor gave me that last year, but you gonna jump in? I said, no, I missed it. Like, we don't do the FOMO, fear of missing out. You missed it, catch the next one. There's gonna be plenty more.
And that's the same thing with me. I was in I'm still in AMC, Naked, Nokia, all of them. I already had all of them before anything even happened. So when they start going off, I'm just like, okay, that's what it's supposed to do. And right before they start coming down, I'm gonna set my limits and set my stops so I can sell and make a little profit. While everybody else jumping in, I'm gonna be jumping out. That's
and that's how you do it.
Greedy, be fearful. So once again,
that's why the people that jump in at the last minute, they think they gonna catch that train, and they just don't know you got on at the last second. It's already about to hit the wall.
Yep.
You waited too long to do that.
Yep. So with those stocks, I'm like, I had a guy ask me the other day, should he throw some money in AMC, and I was like, I wouldn't if I was you. I was like, you can do what you want. Don't let me stop you, but if I was, somebody who was helping you out managing your money, I would tell you no, because it went from $2 to $13. And at the time it was already up 40% pre-market. So now you think you're going to get it at $8 when it's already at 13. So you put in your order, you're going to get half of what you thought you was going to get. And then I think it only went up another like 3%. So he wouldn't have made, almost nothing. And then once stuff go up like that too, they don't even think about taxes. They don't even think about how that's going to affect them when they pull it out, when they sell. So there's so much stuff that goes into
all that money, just free money coming to them. They don't even understand that.
Yep. But the market's been crazy, and it's also been good for me because with everybody jumping on AMC and all this stuff with the hedge funds. So when they did all this with the hedge funds had to sell stock in different companies, in their other companies and their other holdings. That's why the stock market's been going down. So while everybody getting on AMC, I'm going over here to, Apple dipped $4 today. Let me get some Apple. Okay, Starbucks under $100 now. Let me get Starbucks. Coke is under its 180-day moving average. Let me get Coke. So I'm scooping up, big blue chip companies at a deal while everybody over here focused on the hype. So if you know what you're doing, it's easy.
They focus on what's going to crash. It's too late.
yeah. They focusing on the shiny stuff. That's what it is. They focus on the shiny stuff, not realizing they standing on gold when they could just all they gotta do is bend down and pick it up.
Yeah. You missed what's hot. Just go and catch what's at the bottom and get ready to catch that wave. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
So what the Facebook group you got? What made you start that? Like, tell people the name of the group and what made you start that.
The name of the group is Secrets of Finance, and so originally I started that off the book, right? And then I'm making a course called Secrets of Finance also, so that'll be coming soon. But it's basically to get people knowing about me and try to get my ideas out there so I can have testimonials, right? So when somebody like, Trymaine helped me get 30% or whatever percent gain on such stock, or he told me this tip and it worked out this way, I'm collecting all that. And then when I launch my course, I already have proof that what I'm saying works, so people like to question stuff. We don't just blindly trust people. We got to have some social proof is what it's called, right? So once I have that, it'll make me more credible to people that don't know me. And then that'll help me boost my course and get that off the ground.
So that was the main behind it. What really got? I know you said where we from, and that was my main thing. Where we from? This is not the norm. So what really makes you want to become an educator? Because I'm like, I don't know. I think you're an educator. I'm just a person that kind of tell my experience. I don't think maybe I'm an educator too. I don't know. But I look at you like when you talk, you sound more like a teacher or this and that. I'm just a person that just give you my experience of my game. I think it's a little different. But what made you want to become an educator? Because I remember sitting in class with you in Temple College.
Yeah.
You wasn't. I mean, you was about the knowledge, but I don't think you was talking about the teaching part of the knowledge.
Yeah. I mean,
so what made you
it obviously changed, right? Because I definitely wasn't about the teaching part at that point. I was just about learning it for myself to try to apply it, you know. But like I said, when I started coming across people that didn't know this stuff, and I'm like, you know, so the thing is too for me is like I don't want to get a whole bunch of money and the people around me don't, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when jealousy comes into place, and that's when you start losing the friends that you've had for long periods of time. And I've never been like that. So I always want to bring the people around me up with me. That way we can always stay on the same level. It can always be the same type of relationship. I don't have to worry about me paying for everything all the time because I made some money in the stock market. You made money too. We both, we pay for each other, whatever.
Both eat.
Right. And also it's a scarcity mentality from some people, right? Because they don't realize that there's enough money out there for everybody. Like
for some people, for most people.
And I think I was on that mindset too. I think I used to be like, okay, if I get it, then they can't. So, and if they get it, I can't. So it used to be like, let me keep all this knowledge to myself and let me apply it and go get money and let them fend for themselves. But it don't have to be like that. And that's basically what I learned. So it's a group mentality, right? So bring up the group, and that's just how I'm rolling now.
Yeah, I had to learn that because even though in business, I guess like I come from more of the street side, so you really don't trust people and you really just want to do everything alone.
Mm-hmm.
But in business, you could do everything alone. Like one of my mentors say, would you rather have 100% of a seed or 20% of a watermelon? We got to think bigger. Like I could have had 100% of running a bunch of mom and pop stores, or I can team up with people, network with people, and build some corporations, some generational stuff.
That's right.
Because mom and pop stores, they die out. That's one person that's operating. Really, you working yourself into the grave too. You know what I'm saying? Because you steady always at work and stuff like that. So that's why I got into investing, because I was like, man, I need to do something different. So what like, I know you said just coming from, but what makes you really when you're teaching your investing side? Like, do you invest in anything else, or is it just market right now? Do you have plans on, or you have another venture of investments that you're thinking about? What do you want to be your portfolio one day? Real estate or just straight stocks? Or just give people a sense of what you're planning on your future as a bigger investor as you grow.
I'm thinking ginormous, man, as big as I can get. I want to do apartments. That's my main thing that I want to do.
We talked about that last time you was in Texas.
I'm definitely gonna get in that after I get out of the military, is where I can be somewhere, look at properties, go around, search for properties, find them, and then start building that up. I'm always gonna have stocks because that's a form of passive income. So I don't have to look at stocks every day to where if I'm making money or losing money, it's gonna come and go, and I ain't gotta worry about it because it's always gonna be there. Real estate will be the same thing. Once I start getting these apartments rolling, that's going to be passive income coming to me where I ain't got to do nothing. All I got to do is pay somebody, make sure everything's up and running, and I'm good. I don't have to be fixing toilets. I don't have to be doing none of that stuff. I can pay somebody to do that. So I'm all about passive income for generational wealth. That's my thing. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but I didn't get money when, from my family. When I was coming up, there wasn't a trust fund for me or nothing for me to go to college set aside. So I'm trying to make sure my kids and my grandkids and my grandkids have that opportunity to basically have the freedom to do what they want and have the options, because that's really what, all this is about. It's about options.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Life should be about the option instead of you at 18, you kick your kids out or you push them out and tell them go get a job. And you think you did your job, but really you failed them because you didn't give them no platform. You didn't give them no structure to come out into life with.
Yeah.
So, so what do you think, like when it comes to kids, bringing up your kids, how early do you think you're going to be with them on investing and stuff like that? What do you, like, how early do you think people should start getting their kids around it?
As soon as they understand money, that's what I would say. My oldest son right now is 8. And I plan to do it when I get back. When I I've been away for almost a year now. So when I get back home and he'll be old enough to understand money, like I already got him savings account, well, not savings accounts, but I already got them all investment accounts. All my kids already have investment accounts set up, throwing money in there every month, every year. So like I said, my kids are going to be straight by the time they graduate high school. And if they don't want to go to college, they're going to have to. If they want to start a business, whatever they want to do, they'll have the money to do. But
they have a platform to come out and like boom.
Yeah, but we're going to have a conversation about it. You ain't just going to go splurge it either.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So
and that's why I say it's good to raise them up in it so they have that appreciation for it. Because if you just let them do whatever and then at 18 you give them property or you give them stocks, they just gonna blow it because you didn't raise them to treasure this. You got to raise them to, these stocks are treasure. This land is treasure. This is a family thing. And I think because I was telling a guy like that, he was telling me he didn't care about building wealth for his family, some weird stuff. And, he was a preacher too, but he was like, I don't care about building family for my wealth for my family because when I die, they're gonna mess it off anyway. I say, well, that's saying you messed up because you should raise him to cherish building wealth and cherish this stuff. If you'd have planted that into his head, they wouldn't mess it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mindset that as parents, we got to take on and understand that our kids, like you said earlier, it's really our responsibility, not just feed them, clothe them, and kick them out at 18. Really, the kids that come from him and her and, on and on, that's really our responsibility. And I think that's too much of a responsibility for a lot of people. That's why they just like to say, well, I did my job, I raised them.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't even have to do it big. It doesn't have to be something that like, I don't think that I'm going to build something that lasts for 1,000 years, right? Yeah. But I'm going to put down the first brick, and then each generation after that is going to add a brick, and then it's going to build up over time. And that's the only thing I can do. I mean, if I do get a castle out of it, that'd be great. But that's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to put a brick down and have my kids build off of that, and my grandkids build off of that, and keep going like that. So it's definitely a mindset. All this stuff is mindset about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and how you're gonna teach your kids to do it.
And keep it going. It's same as like what you like Ford or General Motors. They billion-dollar companies now, but when Ford and they started it, they just had a vision, but they didn't get to reap the rewards that their kids seeing right now of what they started.
Right.
But somebody got to start it though. We didn't have nobody to start it for us, so we got to be the pioneers to start it. We might get to see a little taste of it, but the people that we leave in charge are the people that we pass it on to. And that's a good thing. That's how we supposed to live. We're not supposed to live selfish and be like, well, I want to get rich. If I can't get it, I don't want to do it then.
Yeah.
No, if you don't even get to see everything, you'll be able to rest good knowing that your kids, now they just straight. They took something, they got all these recordings of you, they got everything that you laid the foundation, and now they just play that over and over and be like, this was great grandpa Trymaine or something, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Remember, this is the interview he did talking about what he did, and this is why we live like this now. You know what I'm saying? So that's real big, and that's real huge. So what I want to go to with you on now, I'm getting a little bit off hand now, what I'm saying? But I got more questions that I'm just thinking about. So let me get away from that. But I want you to talk to the people about the importance of just starting a mindset of wanting more. Because like I tell, a lot of people talk about how they don't have the money. And like I tell them, the properties I own now, I didn't have the money for none of those. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, I wrote down a number the other day on of a lot. Probably, I think it's like $200,000. I don't have no $200,000, but I wrote that number down like I'm a column, like I got it in the bank. It's the mindset that'll lead to what you can build on. So that's the part I want to talk to you now about. Like we started on it earlier, but I want you to tell the people about the mindset, even if you got nothing in your pocket, just the importance of just switching your mind can start bringing stuff to you.
Well, mindset, like we've been talking about, is just a huge thing, right? So it's not about, people think that if they don't have it, like that's the end all be all. And that's I don't want to call it loser mentality, but that's kind of what it is. You got to be resourceful. It's not about what you have. It's about the resources you can pull in. So not having $100,000, $200,000 for a property doesn't mean anything. Okay, so if I got, if I find a house for $30,000, right? I don't have $30,000, but if I have 10 and a couple of my friends have 10 and we all go in on it, and now we splitting the profits 3 ways. We get our 10 back, and the rest of it is just profit from then on out. So it's not about, you know, your resources. It's about your resourcefulness, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter your circumstances. It's where can you find it? Because there's always people willing to help you. You just got to find those people. You got to seek them out, tell them what you want to do, and they will help you. There's people everywhere that want to help you.
And a lot of times it's just applying yourself to maybe just read a little bit. Just reading a book could just, you could be like, I didn't even know it's free money over here. I didn't know that I can just go flip this for free. There's a lot of stuff you could do for free if you would just like search out for the knowledge, you know, and go after it, or listen to people, have a mentor. I tell people all the time, I got a few mentors. Yep. And I'm proud of it, because even though I know a little something, I can teach something, the job of building wealth is ongoing. It's always learning. I don't care how rich the person is, how wealthy a person is. They wake up every day. And the weird thing about it, the more wealthy you are, the more you're going to read, the more and that goes together. Reading more discipline, it goes together with building more wealth and staying structured, because it's a formula to building wealth. It's not you can't do it because you're from the ghetto or this and that. Right. It's just a formula that the wealthy live by that we don't understand or we never been privy to.
Yep.
You know, coming up. So, and then that's what I think this show is going to be a lot about. It's just about opening up the mindset, just getting people to even thinking. But if we know the stuff we knew now, somebody was teaching us that at 10 years old, 11 years old. Even if we didn't grasp it all, just hearing about it. I ain't never heard about no stock until maybe late 20s or something. I heard of the stock market, but not like tangibles where you can just get into it and do this and do that.
Right.
That wasn't a part of my thing. We working on a movie now. It's called Streets to the Stocks. And that's the message I want to be able to give out. It's like, and it's a character of a guy that's scooping up a youngster on the streets and just showing him, man, with the money you making now, I can show you on this computer without laws kicking in your door, you can make the same money. Mm-hmm. So it's just about transforming the way we think, because the most people that's doing wrong is because they want money or they want to eat, they want this, they don't know no other way. So what do you think about that? Just about the transformation of just showing people how you can just get a lot of stuff.
Well, here's my thing. When people ask me anything you want to know is in a book somewhere. Anything. Somewhere. Absolutely anything you want to know is in a book somewhere. And you probably can go find it for free at a library, a public library. You can get it for free. There's a whole bunch of online places you can get books for free. So if you want to learn something, go look for it in a book, because there's one out there, right? But besides that, you have to, if you want to be, I don't say if you want to be rich, because that's not everybody's goal, right? So if you want to be well off enough to where you don't have to work, for instance, you have to learn how to multiply your money. And the easiest and best way is to invest, because that's when you invest money, it's always working. It never stops. It's always working. You ain't gonna find a harder worker nowhere in the world than money that you've invested, because it's always working 24/7. It don't need breaks, don't need coffee breaks, no smoke breaks, don't need none of that. It's always working. So once you get that, no matter where you start, $20, $10 a week, whatever, wherever you start, once you start seeing that money coming in and rolling and compound interest and all that stuff happening, then you'll be like, man, I should have been doing this a long time ago. And then you're gonna feel bad. But then you learned your lesson, right? So then you're gonna pass that on to the next generation. Hopefully, that's what you should do.
And it's about habits. It's about habits. It's just, if you grow up seeing your mom, your dad buying stocks, buying real estate, buying this as a kid, I mean, that becomes your world. It's right. Normal to you. Yep. And that's our job. We got to make it normal to a kid hearing about stocks, about this, about that. Yep. I'm in this not in-home banking, that's Derek, but I'm Jake Jacobs got a course that I took, the banking blueprint, teaching you how to bank through your insurance reserves. Mm-hmm. And he in one of his classes, he was teaching us about the average person makes $1.5 million in their life. But when you add up all the rent, all the out to eat, so people don't even know, like regular people don't even know that they didn't touch over $1 million in their life, but they just do it so many different ways, they just struggle. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and that's the stuff, you would be surprised if you told a person, you add up what you've been making, what you've been spending, what you've been doing the last 30 years, they'll be surprised on how much money they actually have had in their lifetime. Mm-hmm. So, and that's being conscious of the money we spend and being fruitful of knowing that money's supposed to work for us, not just spend it and consume. And that's our thing. We're consumers. we're not a person that go look to make our money work for ourselves. That's the thing. We've been taught to be consumers, and we just live by that, and we'll fight to be consumers too. You know
yeah, people will. And that's another thing I tell people: you can't save your way to $1 million. The average person cannot save their way to $1 million. That's why it just doesn't make sense when you run the numbers. So you put your money in the bank, right? So inflation is 2 to 3% a year. What bank interest rates right now are 0.01, 0.1%. If you get a high interest bank account is 0.6%. So you're still losing 2.4 or 1.4% a year of your money to inflation. That's not even including the tax you got to pay on the interest that you're getting. So you lose even more than that. And but once again, that's what we've been taught from our parents and our grandparents, that put your money in the bank account, but it's not the same, because they were getting 6 and 7% interest on their bank accounts at the time.
I was actually getting some flips back in the days. They was getting some pretty good flips over 5-10 years.
Yeah, but it's not the same game. So we got to adapt to that, and we got to change with that. Now, that same thing is the stock market, basically. The stock market averages 10% a year. So, you can lose 1.4% or you can gain 10%. Like, you just got to choose your hard, right? As they say, choose your hard. Choose which one you think is going to work out best for you and your family, and go do it. It's simple. Once you have the blueprint, the map, and people teach you how to do something, it's simple. All you got to do is follow that road. So if I tell you, hey, you need to invest in a stock, this is how you do it. This is where you go. This is how much money you put in a month. Boom, you'll have $1 million in 17 years. If you don't do it, that's your fault. I've told you how to become a millionaire, and you like, oh, that's too hard. But you want an instant. You want to play the lottery, and thinking that's going to be your way out. People win the lottery, obviously, but how many people win the lottery?
That's what I'm saying. And the people that do win it, they blow it because they don't have nothing. They don't know about finances. Right. It's just a quick little couple years. By 3 to 5 years, they be broke. Most lottery winners, because most of them are people that never had no money, and they just gonna blow it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's but I don't understand how you get the blueprint and you don't follow it. If you tell me you want something and I tell you how to get it, if you don't follow it, then you didn't want it.
Yeah, that's all it is. You really didn't want it. You want somebody to give it to you. You want it, you know what I'm saying? That's just like we were talking about earlier, when people jump in on the stock when it's hot. So they think, oh, if I jump in now, I'm gonna get rich, not knowing that no, you have to be disciplined enough long time ago to get this. Like, you'd missed it. So that's the same as that. Like, people just want an instant gratification. And I'm like, I can show you how to get it with just a regular job, but that's gonna take time. It's like my analogy is, every day I wake up, I'm building a mansion out of bricks, right? So every day I wake up and I put one brick to that mansion. To some people, oh no, that's too much. I ain't gonna do it. But by you've been saying that the last 5 years now, I got half of my house built, or I got a section of it built. By you've been saying no, that's too long to build. I've been building that whole time, and now, and you still don't got nothing. So you didn't even try to build.
Yep. Or they'll start and they'll do a little bit and then they'll quit because it's not working as fast as they think it should work. Like, you never been rich. How you know how long it should take to get rich? It takes time.
And I'm like, okay, this right here, if you follow the blueprint, you got proven stats that if you do this over 10, 15, 20 years, you'll end up like this. If you just do that playbook. Then you got the playbook of, if you work 10, 20 years, if a job keep you that long, because now there's not back in the days. Back in the days, you can get a job and retire in 20, 30 years.
Right.
Most jobs now are going overseas, or they turn it into transformers and stuff. So, they're not guaranteed like they used to. Like I was telling the guy earlier, I said, in Temple, the best jobs when we were younger were like McLean's and Wilson Art.
Yep.
You had to know somebody to get on. Now they hire as temps, because they are saving money on insurance, they saving money on all that other stuff. So even the good paying jobs, they going away. They hire the CEOs want to keep their money, and they're gonna pay for cheap labor.
Yeah, because that's another thing. Corporate world, once you figure out that the CEOs make their money based off the stock price of the company, then they're going to keep their prices down, their expenses down, so the stock price goes up, and then they'll get a bigger raise or bonus when it comes around time. So that's just the corporate world itself. So if you don't know what's happening, if you think, you're going to go to some job and work 20, 30 years and be good, they're going to give you a pension for the rest of your life. That's not how it's going to work. Yeah. Pensions, I couldn't even tell you one spot right now that gives pensions. Not even the military is not even really giving pensions anymore. They cutting their stuff down. So I couldn't even tell you one place.
And the ones that's been locked into them, or not even pensions, like the 401s, this is what I learned about jobs. Like the 401ks and stuff like that you pay into for 20, 30 years or whatever. I realized that I want to be the people that come borrow money from your 401k instead of, because that's all they doing. They taking your money, flipping it 1,000,000 times, and by the time you retire, they're flipping your money and they're thinking about how I can short them when they retire. That's the whole money gap. You pay into it, they flip it, they buy a property, they do all this over 10, 20, 30 years. When it's time to retire, now they're trying to figure out, even though they've made a bunch of money off your money, they're trying to figure out how they can give you the smallest piece of the pie that you are deserved. Because you're not going to get the money they made, but the little piece you're supposed to get, they still trying to get a piece of that back. Yeah. Like it's wicked in that financial world. What do you think about that?
I think people need to be smarter. I mean, that's just the only way around.
It's just the way of the game. I tell people all the time, you can make your own 401k. You don't got to do the job structure. You ain't got to. You can start investing in your 401k.
Yeah, even if you do the 401k, there's still ways to make it more beneficial to you, right? Yeah. So there's Roth. There's a Roth IRA. There's Roth 401k. That's money taken after taxes, and you get taxed first, then you put that money into an account. That way, all the stuff grows and it's tax-free when you take it out. So they're making money, but that money that you're making is guaranteed with no taxes, nothing else coming off the top. So if you don't plan to be in a higher tax bracket once you retire, which I do, so that's kind of how I work right now. I take all my stuff after taxes and then put it in there so my stuff can grow tax-free. So when I'm ready to take it out, I ain't got to worry about taxes on none of that money. And then you can tax me on whatever I'm making money on. That's other stuff. But my sources of income, I plan to have 6 sources of income. That's my goal when I retire at 60. Because 60 is it. 60, I plan on being done. But with everything, I want my six streams of income, and I won't have to do nothing. I want to get up, go outside, put on a straw hat, and mow my grass with some sweet tea. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Like so.
What made you? Did you see that, read that, or just something you came up with when you said you're 6? Like, is that something that you consciously came up with, or
that's something
how'd you remember?
That's something that I came up with, as in looking at all the sources that I plan to do. Right. Okay. So I plan everything. If all else fails, I should have 6 sources of income. That's just my bare minimum. That's just minimum. So. And all that, obviously, I want to be, as low taxes as possible. So I'm putting all my stuff in tax-free accounts and tax sheltered accounts and all this and that, real estate, for write-offs and all this and that. So I got my plans together, what I want and how I'm gonna get it. But that's just if, like I said, that's just a fail safe. Because if everything works out, I'll be having hundreds of income. Like, cause I'm gonna count one apartment as a form of income, and I plan if I get to where I want to be, I plan on having at least 5,000 apartments once I retire at 60, at least. And then obviously that's going to my kids and and them when they go down. So
generational wealth part.
Yeah, exactly. So they can use that I'm going to teach them, Lord willing, I'm around long enough, teach them to do it and how to multiply it so they can do it as well. So maybe they won't have to go a job. Maybe by the time they get my age, they're working for me and they're learning the family business at that point, learn how to multiply stuff, and then they can do what they want and do the same thing for their kids. So that's the goal. That's
big. I got a different initiative. So I want to ask you, I know you just said, what you plan to have by 60 for the next, let's just say 5 years. What do you see yourself really like? Because it's all levels to plan. So even if you got a big plan by 60, I got to do these. This couple years is just gonna be this phase. Then the next couple years will be that phase. So say the next 2, 3, 4 years, what phase are you think you in? You just gonna steady buy stocks right now? You're gonna start looking into your first apartment. Like, what stage do you think the next 2 or 3 years is for you?
2 or 3 years. Still gonna be buying stocks. That's never gonna stop. Yeah, but it's not all about stocks either. It's so there's this thing called a perfect portfolio by Ray Dalio, where he put together this um blend of stocks, equities, and bonds and different things. Where over the course of since the beginning of the stock market to 2015, I believe, it outperformed it. It didn't outperform the market, but it only lost money 5 years out of that time frame from the beginning of the stock market to 2015. Only lost money 5 times, 5 years, basically 5 years during that time frame. So that's one of the models that I follow. I try to make my portfolio kind of match that as much as I can to keep that going. But yeah, so there's that. I'm always going to be investing in stocks. I'm going to keep investing in myself, taking courses. I'm working on being a insurance agent right now. Well, not really an insurance agent, but sort of a middleman to help people with finance stuff, to hook them up with places that can help them manage their 401k, their different assets, the annuities, and life insurance, also helping them get with life insurance companies, make sure their family's protected in case anything happens, and a whole bunch of different stuff like that, helping basically doing what I'm doing now, but being official with it, being officially certified in a way that I can help people, do this and have those initials behind my name to help out and do it legally. I mean, it's all legal, but doing it as in like an official company, yes. And actually representing companies. So there's that. There's stocks. Yes, I'm gonna start looking for my first apartments. I had one, but it fell through. But I'm gonna find another one. So there's that. What else? I think I'm gonna start. Obviously, my education business, still gonna keep doing that. Hopefully, building that up a lot bigger than what it is now. So get the course launched, get more people involved, and also doing personal finance coaching. So I want to help people like get on track. I want people to be like, okay, like this is what I want, and this is what I got. How much money I got? How can I get it? And then I can walk them through a plan, set them up a plan to help them reach their goals. So there's those 5 things, and I think that's about DJing. I'm a DJ on the side too. So
okay.
I'll be doing DJing at clubs and stuff like that when I get to Japan. So yeah, I'm just out working, man, doing everything I can, trying to build this wealth up and throw a little money to the side for the family. That's all.
Yeah, it's just the grind. It's it becomes a lifestyle. That's what I tell people. I said, don't let it be a fad. Just make it just part of your life. What you do every day, or what you do, just your whole thinking process. And that's what it sounds like. Well, I already know personally, but that's what it sounds like on camera with you. That's just basically your lifestyle. You don't get overexcited or too sad. It's the ebb and flows are up and down, and it's just part of the process of.
Yeah, I'm very positive and optimistic person when it comes to things. Like, I believe I can do anything. If somebody tells me no, it kind of gets me fired up to prove them wrong.
Yeah, so, you're gonna try hard, you're gonna go harder.
Yeah, so that's how I am, man. And I'm definitely the person that when I get setbacks, it doesn't discourage me. It's like, okay, I'm almost like Thomas Edison. I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. So now, once I eventually get that way it's gonna work, it's gonna blow. Just like with the education stuff, I've been doing it for a while, but the book is now starting to get some momentum, and doing a little bit of stuff. So it's definitely not an overnight success type thing, It's nothing that I just been like, oh, boom, put it out there and it works. So I've been doing this a while, just taking different avenues to get to where I'm at now, and I'm just gonna try to keep going up from here.
Keep going good, man. Well, I want you. We're gonna wind it down. It's the first interview. I'm thankful for you getting on there, and I want to, like I say, I call it Wealth Is Gangsta Podcast, but really, when I was talking to the guys today, I'm with the nonprofit that put me on the board, that I'm going to make it a channel. You know what I'm saying? So we got a couple reality shows. We got a cooking show. We got stuff. The YouTube is going to start off on YouTube, but I eventually wanted to go to a streaming channel or something. So I want to get with you, and maybe once a month or something, we chop it up over the market, or you let people know, you know what I'm saying? We just have this conversation back and forth just to keep the dialogue going on. And we just do it once a month or twice a month, however it flows. But I want to keep in contact with you. What would you give the people a way to contact you, buy your book again, tell them where they can go buy your book again? all your contacts if they want any of your services or anything like that.
The book is called The Quick Start Guide to Investing. It's on Amazon, 99 cents. Trymaine Kelley is the author, obviously me. Go get it. You can be in contact with me. If you can follow me on Facebook. I got my page, and then I also got the Secrets of Finance group on Facebook. I also got the Quick Entrepreneur on Facebook, and then Trymaine Kelley, my business page on Facebook as well. So you can go hit me up on any of those, or if you want to hit me up by email and we talk about some things, it's Trymaine@secretsoffinance.com that you can hit me up and we can talk or do whatever you need to do, or you can hit me on Messenger, whatever the case may be. I say this now because, I'm kind of small time, but once I get big time, the messages ain't going to be.
Yeah. No, it's going to blow. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be talking to some assistants pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? But what they call it, the automatic response when somebody email you, invite you. Oh, that's going to come. But that's what it's supposed to do. That's the growth of it.
Yeah.
So what would be your last words or encouragement, or what you want somebody that's never invested or been thinking about stocks or anything like that? What would be your last words of encouragement to tell them to just try it out, just to go, or just give them some advice or encouragement? What would you tell that person that's thinking about it and they're listening to you right now, but they still unsure, they still don't know what to do?
First, I would tell them to buy my book because that explains a lot. It's only 99 cents. It explains a lot, though. It's a lot of the basics that people will get out the way, and it'll save them a ton of money. I guarantee that it will save them more than the cost of the book, without a doubt. But if you're gonna get started, study, right? Don't just jump into anything blind. Know what you're getting into and know how it works. Don't just follow what you see on Reddit. Don't follow what you see on Facebook. Get with somebody who's knowledgeable or read up on something, but do some type of studying before you get it. You can open an account, a free account on Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, or whatever. Open you an IRA depending on your income, a Roth IRA, and then you can just put the money in there until you learn what to do, and then you can put the money into stocks or whatever, so your stuff can grow tax free. So open an account and put money in it, but don't invest in anything until you know what you're investing in and the ins and outs of it. That would be my advice.
That's good advice right there. I was glad when you said that, because the first investment should always be you and your brain. That should always be. A lot of people be like, what should I do first? I'm like, learn. You're like, they don't want to do that. They just want to get told, put your money here and it's going to grow. No, you need to know exactly what you're going to do, because the day that it goes down, don't call me crying, because if you learn, it's going to be ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know when the dip coming, when it's going to shoot up. And you're not going to know that if you just listen to me. You're going to think it's my fault every time something bad happens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you said that was first. Well, we're wrapping it up. I appreciate it. This is the first ever Wealth Is Gangsta. We're going to have more. I just got them to commit on camera that we're going to at least talk once a month. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep the dialogue going back and forth. But I appreciate you, family. And I need you to send me the link, because I want to have the link in the description under the video, so I can help promote it. And we're going to just stay in contact. And we still got to do some business. We do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say that I got a portfolio and I do stuff with other people, but I want to do a portfolio like you was talking about, the having some people that can vouch for you once you do your courses. I want to start an account from whatever, $500 or something, and only go off your advice, and then I'll be a testimony for you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about it off camera, but I want to tell you that when you said that, I thought about that. And I said, well, I'll be a great testimony, because, I'm building portfolios. I'm still learning. I'm just getting into it. So since you already at a certain stage, I want to be a testimony for you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that off camera, but I'm going to start a little account, maybe $500, whatever account you tell me, whoever, I'm going to follow your steps. So I can tell people I follow every move that you know what I'm saying? So I'll be a true testimony, not, well, you told me a couple things and I did it. I'm going to have an account just for your advice, and then we'll be able to show people that.
Cool. I appreciate it. Sounds good, man.
I love
having me. I appreciate it.
First episode of Wealth Is Gangsta is finishing. Trymaine Kelley, the entrepreneur, the financial educator, and the father. We got to put that under. We got to make sure, because that's the most important, the father. But I appreciate you, family. And we'll be talking in again, man.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.